moment
Mhm.
to pick your brain and really let the community know how much that you show up for them and how they are so dear to your heart. And just why did you choose this industry and what do you benefit from it? So, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, well, let's get into it. Just to start off, what originally drew you to life insurance and what keeps you involved and so attached to it today?
Um, Actually, the guy that recruited me into this industry, um, he came over. I was a client. I became a client first. He sat with me and talked with my wife and I about um, our policies and making the change and switching them for better, more coverage and everything. And he asked me one simple question when we decided to change our policy. He asked me, how many people do I think? He asked me a couple of questions. How many people do I think have the type of policy that I had? I told him probably a whole bunch. He said, so you can do one or two things. He said, you can get a license and get in the business, get a license and help those people yourself, or he said, you can just refer them to me and I'll make the money. So that was an easy choice. I told them, I'm going to get a license and get in the business. And that's when I took off. That's when I got in the business. Just on that last part of the conversation, after we wrote our policy, of course, that's what he asked me.
Well, you said a lot of things that are not common to most people is that you had an agent to sit down with you. Why do you believe that life insurance should be a part of everyday financial conversations and not just end of life planning? Because it doesn't sound like you and your wife were planning end of the life events when you sat down with your agent.
But I have to be honest with you. It had nothing to do with me and knowing anything. When I got married, um, I guess about 2 to 3 weeks after we got married, I come home from work and my wife tells me the life insurance guy is coming over. So I got real leery because I just married you 3 weeks ago and you trying to write life insurance on me. So I was like, okay. So I was real leery, but I did it. So got the policy, and that was a policy that eventually the guy that recruited me replaced. But that's how we ended up getting the policy. But I was definitely leery about it. But when I married her, she had about 3 or 4 policies. So she was a good customer. I learned once I got in the industry, she was a good customer. So her agent, once he found out she had got married, he immediately called and set that appointment up. So that is how I got introduced to having life insurance. And he taught me nothing. He just wrote the policy, and I just wrote it because she had 2 or 3. She wanted one on me, and that's what we did. And
Well,
then I
let's
later
unpack
had the
that.
other appointment. Yeah, I
Why do
later
you
had
think?
the other appointment.
Oh, you later got another appointment, you said?
Yeah, well, I had the appointment with the guy that recruited me. I later had that probably a year after that, a year or two after I had that initial guy wrote the policies.
Okay. Well, why do you think you were leery, understanding that you and your wife had two points of view, two different points of views when it came to life insurance? What was the pause for?
So the pause was huge because I, I didn't know anything about life insurance. I don't remember my parents saying anything to me about life insurance or anything. I thought life insurance was for funerals, and on the movies I used to see people buy it and then knock their spouse off or something like that. So I was like, "Hey, we 3 weeks into this, and you trying to buy life insurance on me?" hey, where's this trying to go? This is going in a different direction. So,
Something like the widow, right? The widow's fight.
yeah, yeah.
Well, over your career, what is the biggest misconceptions about life insurance you've seen? And do you see those misconceptions changing, or have they changed since you started?
One of the biggest misconceptions about life insurance is that life insurance is just for funerals. And it is not just for funerals. And I got a good friend of mine that just wrote a book. Life insurance is not just for funerals. So I'm gonna give a plug for the book and let you know that the book is out and it is an opportunity to get the book. You can go on Amazon and get it. Life insurance is not just for funerals, or you can reach out to me or one of the other associates here and get that book. Life insurance is not just for funerals, but to me, that is one of the biggest misconceptions. Now, I'll give you a little a note on this. In the Black community, a lot of people think the way they think about insurance by design. The industry designed that thought process because of how the industry was set up back in the day. And because life insurance is one of the fastest ways to create wealth in this country, and they didn't want that to happen to blacks. So the industry approached the blacks about life insurance differently than they approached other people. And so, hence the mindset that a lot of people have about life insurance was it was created by the industry.
And that's such a disservice. You said a lot, Professor. Uh, I know you as Professor, but the people, Eduardo Spragg, as our business director here with OIC, 10K Totally Lit. You said that life insurance is, you said, the quickest way or the easiest way to build wealth.
Well, I guess I should say quick. You don't want to be bumping people out. One of the easiest ways. Yeah, yeah,
But I mean,
yeah.
that's a lot. That is a lot. And even your own personal experience with it, you said the agent just wrote you a policy. And it was because I'm assuming that the agent was just catering to your wife. But that within itself kind of, to me, still had you questioning the industry. What Now that you've been working in the industry for over 25 years, what does education first, product second look like in your practice?
Oh, it's very important. Very important. Really, to write policies and write life insurance policies and have people keep them, you have to educate them. You have to educate them on why they have what they have, why they need, number one, why they need what they have, what we end up getting, and then why they have it and why they need to keep it. One of the biggest things that happens in our community is if things get tough, one of the first things that happens is they stop paying the life insurance. But on the other side of the tracks, see, there's two tracks in every community. And on the other side of the tracks, they teach their kids about life insurance and teach their family about life insurance. So what happens is, if daddy gets sick, he tell his family, "Hey, you keep paying on this life insurance policy. If they repossess the car, you keep paying on this life insurance policy. If they foreclose on the house, you keep paying on this life insurance policy. Because if daddy die, everything gonna be all right because daddy has 700 to $1 million worth of life insurance." Well, on the other side of the track where I grew up, they didn't teach that. They taught us that life insurance was get that 25,000, 10,000 to bury you, 5,000. So it like I said, the industry perpetuated that mindset in our community, and it has continued to grow since then because a lot of people don't get educated. So we have to educate and it's very important. And then it allows people to get the protection they need and keep it. So when times get hard, they don't just stop paying on the life insurance. They understand that it's important that I continue to pay on this.
That sounds like breaking some generational poverty there. So, what financial concepts do you feel are most important for families to understand early on?
Oh, well, the upside is a lot of the financial concepts that we educate on, and which is the rule of 72, understanding that and how money doubles, what the rule of 72 teaches you. One of the big ones is the theory of decreasing responsibility, which also some people call the X curve concept, which teaches you that why you need life insurance at an early age and why you need a lot of life insurance because your responsibilities are high and your money is low. And so while your money is growing, basically you're buying money when you get life insurance because while your money is low, if anything happens, you have all these responsibilities. So you need the protection. And then your money will work harder for you than you can for it. So as your money continues to grow, then your need for life insurance can decrease. But in our community, I think because we were so behind in a lot of times, I won't say all the time, a lot of times we're so behind that you should still continue to keep the life insurance even as your money continues to grow. But that is another one, the theory of decreasing responsibility. Understanding with the now with the index universal life policy, understanding how money grows, fixed, variable, and index. See, all these concepts you need to understand so that you can have a value and appreciation for what you have when you get this life insurance policy versus just just getting it. And now living benefits is another concept that you need to understand and need to understand the importance of living benefits, having a life insurance policy that also can protect you in the event of critical illness, chronic illness, critical injury, Alzheimer's, terminal illness. All of those are protected in the policy, in the best policy for you, And so getting those living benefits, I call it the upgrade, even though living benefits have been out for 30 years now. Most of our people, not just our people in our community, most people are not totally familiar with living benefits at all. So it's the upgrade from what a lot of people have.
It is certainly a game changer. In your experience, what happens when families plan ahead versus when they don't? And what are the concepts that, because the information that you shared, it can be overwhelming, it can be intimidating when you don't have that in your background and you're like, oh, I'm responsible for all of that. So, what do you bring to the conversation as you're servicing your community to get them to have some hope and expectations if they take advantage of what the financial education?
One of the biggest things that I bring is two ears. I listen and I want to hear what questions you have, what your understanding is or is not, so that we can address that along with the education process. Because, like you said, I may say all those concepts I just talked about, and if you don't understand them, it doesn't matter. So I need to ask questions and listen to your answers and hear and make sure that I'm answering the questions that you have and I understand what you need to hear because you may say some things that will trigger a thought in me that I need to share this with you to help your understanding because understanding is the key. I read a book that says, and all you're getting, get what? Get understanding.
I
So if
understand.
you can understand, then it will put you in a situation where you can definitely hang on to this and benefit from it. See, nobody can, Uncle No No can't talk you out of no life insurance policy once I get you to understand what you have. Because Uncle No may have no idea, but he'll tell you, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't pay no $200 for no life insurance policy. Well, that's you, but you don't understand what I understand. I was taught how this works. So you get a foundation in the person that typically can't be shaken when you educate.
See, that's why I call you the professor, awesome mentor. And on the mentoring concept, what values do you believe every agent should lead with, especially when they are dealing with underserved communities?
The biggest thing is don't chase dollars, don't chase sales. If you educate the people on what they need, and then what then how to determine what they need, and then what they have when they get it, then they're going to do business with you. And not only are they going to do business, they're going to refer other people. And so you can set yourself up if you educate on the front end, and then you can set yourself up to where you'll begin to have business come to you. You don't have to chase business because people will say, "Oh, hey, you can talk to Ed. He took time with me. He explained this to me," and you give them a little knowledge or a bunch of knowledge, whatever. And now, when they talk to people, they talk from an educated vantage point, and then they'll start referring people to you. So it helps you grow your business so you don't have to chase dollars. Just provide a good service to the people.
That's amazing. If you could leave one financial lesson with every family in your community, what would it be?
So kind of what I shared with you guys a little bit. And interesting enough, I ended up talking about a little bit of the history of life insurance. And I think a lot of people in our community need to know the history of life insurance and how it was sold in our community, because like I said, the mindset that it perpetuated is the mindset that a lot of people are going forward with now, and they don't even know where it came from. They don't know why they think the way they think, but the industry created that thought process that life insurance is just for funerals, and you don't need to have no whole lot of life insurance and all of that, because back then the industry did not want to see people in my community have big policies, something happen, and then they come into, large sums of money that they can begin to create an estate and have wealth and things like that. So that's why they only had the $5,000 policies. I remember as a kid, the little insurance man coming through to my grandparents and great grandparents, and they had um, $5,000 policy, $1,500 policy, and that was nothing. But they paid the little man, a dime a week or whatever they charged back then. And then when great grandma or grandmother passed away, we still had to pass the hat around. So then the mindset for you is, man, insurance ain't nothing. My grandmother passed away and we still had to collect money. So why should I get life insurance? And that's what they wanted you to think, because they didn't want you to get well, actually, you couldn't get it back then, the, 200, 500, 10, a million. You couldn't do big policies like that because the industry would not allow those type policies to be sold in our community because they did not want us to pass on wealth.
Wow, that is so disheartening. But OIC 10K Totally Lit is definitely making sure that we go out and we making impact in our community. Tonight, you kept giving a plug for one of our business partners' books, and he's definitely in this struggle with us to make sure that our community has what they need. I want to bring him up. Business Director, Equity Partner John Robinson. Can you just let the people know how this book can help with this mission? You've heard it from my professor. Business Director Eduardo Spragg, and we certainly want you to just share with how we can get your book and how it's going to make an impact for us.
Well, thank you for that, Business Director Erica. That was great information, great interview with Business Director Ed Spragg. And I think someone said right after they said "Let there be light," he got his license, and so I think I was right behind him. So
We need
anyway,
we need you to speak up. We can hear you.
okay, can you hear me? All right, I'll tell you what. Let me switch mics on you, and maybe that would help. But let's see here. How about now?
Yes, sir.
Switch mic, turn off the echo. Now we ready to go. So, yeah, like I said, it's a great interview. I really appreciate Ed taking the time out to do that. And because that's what it's all about, being able to share this type of information. He's completely right. Not only was these policies not available in our community, but the information was not available in the community either. And I happen to have two licenses for over 25 years myself, and yet still, I didn't see this information at all until about 7 or 8 years ago. And I got it because I was looking into doing something for my family. I needed something for my family. And so I went looking for this information. And that's when I ran into it. I had illnesses in my family. I didn't even know I was looking for this, but I did. And so this book that I wrote, I believe that I have tremendous information that can help people to bridge this misinformation, miseducation gap. We can bridge this gap, and I'm committed to sharing this information with everyone that I know, uh, because I want to make sure that we have the information we need to make the right decisions about ourselves and about our families. This book is available on Amazon, and I'm going to bring it up here in just a second for you. But it's available on Amazon. Uh, It'll be delivered to your house in a couple of days. But for associates that are part of our organization, you guys get a special to whereas you'll be able to get this book from me for $10. Amazon has it available for $14.95 plus shipping and all that good stuff. But for our associates, I'm making it available for $10 because I believe it's going to be a tool that you can use. If you put this tool in anyone's hand, they're interested in life insurance, you tell them to read chapters 2, 4, and 8, and they'll have a great foundational understanding to talk about this subject with anyone. So now, if they read this before they meet with you, once they meet with you, they're not there wondering what you're going to say and are they going to understand it? They're going to understand it. They'll have a basic information on how life insurance is supposed to work. You know, what is it? What's it for? How do you calculate how much you need? All that information is in the book, layman's term. They got places in the book that they can take notes. You give someone this book, you're not going to get it back. That's kind of how it's going to work because it's going to be a very valuable tool for them and their family. There are no companies mentioned in the book. This is not a sales book. This is not a book to sell a product or the other. This is a book to give people general understanding about how protection, how life insurance, how it works, and the role it has in our life. So that's all for now. You guys have a great evening. I turn it back to you, Erica.
That's amazing. This OIC 10K Totally Lit is making an impact in the community. You can catch the interview with Business Director Eduardo Spragg again on our YouTube channel at OIC 10K Totally Lit. You just heard from our equity partner, Business Director John Robinson, the tools that will give you the background information that Eduardo Spragg shared with us tonight. I am just so